Hello there, everyone. My name's Alteria Tempest. I'm a fanfiction and gaming VTuber that focuses mainly on fanfiction. But today, I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. Namely, my first ever tier list. More specifically, Kairyu Crocodile's Pet Peeves tier list in honor of Kairyu's debut, which definitely wasn't almost a month ago. Wow, it takes me forever to make videos. I've decided to answer her call and do my own version of the tier list. I've loved Kairyu for a while, ever since her debut, of course, and I'm a VTuber with opinions, so I figured this would be fun. So without wasting any more time, let's hop right into the tier list. Alright, we are starting off kind of slow with loud eating sounds. Now I am definitely not the most opinionated person when it comes to loud eating sounds, mostly because I work around kids, and honestly, you just kind of have to get used to it when you're around kids. I don't particularly like it, but I just really can't. I guess I can put it as kind of annoying, but I don't particularly care anymore. I've definitely been desensitized to it. But what I will care about is slow walkers. Holy cow, that goes up to an instantaneous die for me. I cannot handle slow walkers. I just recently doing some Christmas shopping and trying to get around that crowded store when everybody seems to be going as slow as physically possible. I could barely stand it. And adding on to that, I still remember the times where I would try to be getting through the school hallway. I'm trying to get to my class on time, and it just takes people way too long to walk through that hallway, especially when they're like just talking and messing around with people. Okay, that's a whole nother pet peeve of mine, but I think it does have a little bit at least to do with slow walkers. So I'm definitely putting slow walkers in the die tier. Next, we are on leaving the toilet seat up. Now, obviously, this really doesn't piss me off that much. I can't say. I think it's very much a thing of it definitely annoys some other people, mostly girls, I'm not gonna lie, but I feel like I just never have to think about it because I always just put the toilet seat down. It's really not that difficult. I never actually have to think about it, so I can't really put it anywhere. So I'm just going to probably put this in the don't care tier. All right, and back to another one. Turning without a blinker. Die, but more specifically, are you trying to kill someone? This is this is dangerous here. People drive with the intention of knowing that other people are at least going to be semi-competent drivers, and turning with a blinker is part of being a semi-competent driver. Turn with blinkers, use your blinkers. It's not that difficult. I know I had some trouble. I actually did have some trouble passing my driver's test, but that was a very long time ago, and I've learned to use blinkers since then. So it's just something you got to get used to. I get it if you're like a super new driver and you can't remember it all the time, but it's definitely something to think about. Honestly, with all driver related stuff, I just think you should think of other people and how you're affecting other people by your actions on the road, and you're pretty much going to be fine. So moving on to checking phone during chat. Now this is definitely probably going to have to go somewhere in here because I will definitely check my phone during a chat sometimes. Not often, I wouldn't say, but it's definitely something that I probably shouldn't do very often. Mostly during like chatting people with people at work, because I definitely input a lot of data through my phone. So I'm like, I kind of have to be using that, and I'm not going to stop because I won't get any work done if I just stop and chat the whole time. I'm sorry about that. I'll put this in. Well, I'm a little bit ashamed. I'm a little bit ashamed at least. All right, moving on to loud talking in public. Now, this is obviously, it depends on where you are. I'm not a big fan of loud talking in public, but it's not like anything that like specifically annoys me. If you're in a library, obviously shut up. If you're in like a different country, obviously, I do remember, how are you talking about this? If you're in another country, obviously respect that country's traditions, but me, I'm a proud American, not, that actually kind of felt a little weird to say. I'm a proud American on the internet when it's funny, and loud talking in public is just something we do. So I actually kind of like this. Like, I could do don't care, or I could do I actually kind of like this because honestly, I don't have the greatest hearing, so people talking loudly in public will help me understand them. Right, coming up next, we have people standing too close. Now, I honestly don't like this. I don't think it happens to me often enough that I can put it into the die tier, and I don't think it's, honestly, it probably deserves to be in the I don't like this, but I don't think it happens to me enough to be anything more than just kind of annoying. Yeah, I don't think it has enough to be enough staying presence in my life to be really put into I don't like this. So I'm gonna put it in kind of annoying, and I think it's pretty okay just staying there. Bad drivers? Okay, yeah, that's going into die again. I realize a lot of the driver ones are probably going to go into die because, again, I'll reiterate what I said before. Just think of how your actions affect other people while you're driving. It's really not that difficult, especially with how my whole family situation right now. We've just been having pretty bad luck with getting into accidents. It wasn't our fault, but you just you just got to take into account how other people are feeling. Empathy, guys, empathy. And next, we're going talking over other people. Now, I know I said checking my phone during the chat. I do this and I'm not too ashamed of it, but talking over other people, I think that's actually like super rude and super annoying. So I'm putting that into I don't like this. It's a pretty simple one that I'm just going to put into there. Now, chewing with your mouth open. I think this is another one of I work with kids, so I'm very desensitized to it. If you're in a fancy restaurant, obviously don't do it, but it doesn't bother me. I don't think it bothers me too much anymore. I've definitely been desensitized to it. I don't know if I should add that in. Should I add that onto the thing? Desensitized, I work with kids. I think that works pretty good. Oh, I just killed the wrong tab. Chewing with the mouth open. Yep, definitely. So chewing in the mouth open and loud eating sounds are just desensitized because I work with kids. They probably would annoy me, but I honestly just can't be bothered anymore. Which means this one probably deserves to go up there. There we go. The colors are dumb. I'm not going to change them. I am going to keep going. I got to keep going. All right. Not covering your mouth while yawning. Honestly, I do this and I'm not sorry. Is that something you're really supposed to do? I know you do it when you're doing something else. Like if you're like coughing or sneezing or something, you definitely cover your mouth, but yawning, like I don't think there's any real danger there. And I've just never really seen it done too often. Like I know people cover their mouths sometimes when they're doing it, but I've never seen that done widespread. Are we worried about like secondhand yawns? Is that what it is about? I really don't know. So I'm just going to put it right here. All right. No toilet paper. I definitely don't like this. It's a huge pain. And if you're going to someone else's house and they don't have toilet paper and it's not available anywhere in the bathroom, because like obviously you're a person, you can look around a bathroom for toilet paper, but if there is none, that's just like a huge pain in the ass. And I definitely do not like that. Not covering your mouth while sneezing. This is definitely a little bit more up there because I think I might put this in. I don't like this. I don't think it's up with there with die, though it is dangerous. Like obviously you can get people sick, but I don't think it just like whenever I see it happen, I guess this might be another one where it's like desensitized. I work with kids. It's definitely something that I've reminded kids on a whole bunch. Just like, oh, cover your mouth while you're sneezing, cover your mouth while you're coughing. And it's something to kind of get used to. But if you haven't gotten used to it, I guess that's what I'm thinking. Like if you haven't gotten used to doing it as a kid, you should definitely try to do it. It annoys me and you should definitely try to do it, but it's not something like too bad that I would put it in up there with die. Like that personally makes me hate them as much as slow walkers and bad drivers. Talking during movies. This one is going to be an interesting one because I'm also putting this one in die. I'll be honest, it's not even just talking during movies. It's not following proper movie theater etiquette, especially when I'm with you. Like if I'm taking like a friend to a movie theater or if I'm taking like going with a family, just follow proper movie theater etiquette. I'm just thinking of this. I'm just thinking of recently when I went to go see the Fantastic Four. My mom, we might have pre-gamed a little bit too hard for the movie theater. And it was just whenever she's drunk, she just loses all sense of movie theater etiquette and wants to talk and go on the phone and do a whole bunch of stuff. And I'm like, again, going back to it, I think everything in this die tier is just going to be people not thinking of how your actions affect other people. I think that's going to be like the common thing here because annoys me to no end. And on the totally opposite end of the spectrum, cracking knuckles. I do this and I am not sorry. It is just fun. It's like a great time. I'll see if I can do it right now. Oop, I did it a little bit. I don't know if you can hear it through the mic, but it probably wasn't as loud as possible because I do it so often that but it's definitely just a little thing I do very often. It's satisfying. That's all I'm going to say about it. I know it was definitely frowned upon when I was younger, but I don't think any of those studies, I don't think there are any actual studies. I think it was just like an urban legend that, oh, it's going to give you arthritis and stuff. And nothing that I've seen in any like scientific journal has ever said, don't do it. People have been checking for years and nothing has come out. So I honestly do this and I am not sorry. All right, leaving cabinets open is definitely something that I'm going to put into the kind of annoying tier. It's honestly just not that big of a deal to me because I never have it happen. I mean, if I did have a roommate I've had roommates before, but none of them have been the leaving cabinets open kind, so I can't say how I would feel about it. I think it's just weird. Like, why would you do that? So, because I'm so confused, I don't have a whole lot to say on that topic. Moving on to not fully tightening lids. This one is interesting. I don't know what to put this in because it's kind of annoying. But honestly, this is one of the parts I watched Karyu's video about like a week or two ago, and I honestly don't know. I know she said that it's mostly her fault, and that's honestly probably mostly my fault as well. Because when I'm cooking, I'll be like, I'll quickly open something and then try to put it back on quickly. And if it's not on correctly, it just falls apart when I'm trying to work with it. And it's all my fault. So I guess it's kind of annoying, but it's mostly my fault. Or actually, I guess I do this and I'm ashamed of it. Like, I mean, when it does happen to me, like someone else just left something out there with the cap open, it really pisses me off. But I also do this and I'm ashamed of it, so I kind of got to put it there. Biting silverware. Honestly, that's probably in the desensitized I work with kids situation because, I mean, they do it often and it's not like fun or anything, but like, they make so much weirder noises than biting silverware. And it's not my silverware, so I honestly, I mean, like, you try to get them not to do it, obviously, but desensitized, I work with kids. That's all I'm saying on that subject. All right, moving on to clogging airplane luggage belt. I don't fly enough for this to matter in my life. I've flown like three times maybe max in my whole life. And that was a while ago, so I honestly just don't have enough of an opinion on it, so I'm putting it in don't care. Schedule is being interrupted. Die. Worst thing in the world is your schedule being interrupted. I have a very specific schedule that I want to do, and I have to block out times to get prepared for stuff, and it could like totally like even if something gets canceled, if I'm preparing for it for like an hour or two, I can't do anything like big like that would take up a certain amount of time because I have something blocked out and scheduled later. Then I don't know why I'm way over explaining this, but it just pisses me off. Die, please. No one interrupt my schedules. All right, using words incorrectly. I don't care about this. I am definitely of the opinion that if any words that you are saying, as long as I understand it, it's basically fine with me. I mean, if it's to the point where you're like totally incoherent, then obviously I'm not going to be able to answer you. But if you're just like using the words incorrectly or spelling them wrong or something where I can still tell how it's supposed to be, how the tone is supposed to come across and everything, then I'm perfectly fine with it. So I just don't care. I don't do it. I like to talk and type in fairly okay grammar, but I just don't care that much. Now we're on to chalk. This is definitely going to be a desensitized I work with kids one. I definitely, it gets everywhere somehow. Whenever you're going to play with chalk with kids, the chalk is going to get everywhere. You got to wash hands. You got to probably change clothes, honestly. because it just gets everywhere somehow. And but it is fun to play with. So I can't say anything like, oh, it's kind of annoying, because it can be annoying, but it's also super fun to play with. I love doing the hopscotch with everybody, and I think it's just fun. So honestly, I desensitized. I work with kids. Gum chewing slash popping. I do this, and I'm not sorry. I like chewing gum. I'm not like obnoxiously loud with it, I don't think. And I do pop it, but again, I'm not obnoxiously loud about it. Why would you care if somebody else is chewing their gum and minding their own business? Even if they're popping the gum a little, it's not going to be super loud, and you just don't like the sight of gum, I guess. I mean, you can ask someone if they don't stop, then that's kind of rude, but like, I do this and I'm not sorry. If somebody asks me like, oh, I don't like the sound of chewing gum, then I'm gonna be like, okay, yeah, I'll stop that. But if they don't ask, I'm just not gonna care. All right, stopping in the middle of a walkway. That goes definitely straight into die. Please, no, same thing. And goes around the slow walkers. Just think of how your actions will impact others. That's all I have to say about that. Being rude to service workers. Again, oh no. Being rude to service workers, I am putting way too many things in die, but I think they deserve it. I think they deserve it. You cannot. Why? I've worked in service. It's not fun. And dealing with customers who are rude to you is horrible. Why would you want to inflict that upon someone else? 99% of the time, it is not the service worker's fault. They are just following what they've been told to do. And if they don't do what they're told to do, they will get in trouble instead. So please just think about that while interacting in any way with service workers. That's all I have to say about that. This is just turning into a soapbox for me to yell at people, but I think it's pretty fun, so I'm going to keep doing it. Next up is nose picking, going straight up into the I don't like this. I mean, I don't like this. I don't know anybody who likes this, but I can't even put this in the desensitized I work with kids department. I know I'm not desensitized to it yet. I just don't like this, and you got to correct the kids while they're doing it. That's what I think. And I'm not desensitized to it yet. It doesn't like completely like destroy me when I see someone doing it. Like I know some coworkers have like kind of like an ick with like that, but I can still just be like, no, don't do that. That's about it. I don't like it. Overly touchy people. This is another one that can work in desensitized I work with kids. Look, the kids, they're going to be overly touchy. They're kids. They like to come up and like sit on your lap and sit on everything basically, and play fight and everything. So you kind of just got to get used to that if you're going to work with kids. I do also work with special needs kids, so that's definitely a big part of it. Sometimes they're very touchy-feely, sometimes they're very not. You just got to deal with it. All right, attention seekers. I'm putting that in the kind of annoying. I have never had to deal with that at all, obviously. I have like 100 subscribers on here, so I'm not going to get any attention seekers. Guys, I don't have any attention to give you, so don't come at me seeking it. But I know there's more different kinds of attention seekers than just people who are looking for it from celebrities. But honestly, I've had kids that were attention seekers, like kids with special needs who had like attention difficulties where they would act out in cases where they wanted attention and you had to not give it to them. That's kind of annoying, but they're also kids. So you can't be like, I die to them. I don't like it, but I don't think it's worse than any of the other things that I'm putting like up here. So honestly, it's just going to be kind of annoying. All right, not returning your shopping cart. I'm so tempted to put this into die, but I'm going to put it into I don't like this. Honestly, just do it. Why wouldn't you? Why would you not do it? Honestly, I think I've convinced myself. It's going to be, again, this is going to be the theme. Think about how your actions impact other people. Not returning your shopping cart. It's going to make some minimum wage employee go out in some kind of weather. I don't even care. Like, they're just going to have to deal with it. Deal with your own problems, please. Sorry. And back to something a little less serious, but still very annoying, backseating. I don't like this, but most of the time, I'm going to be honest, it's happening in the car. And I'm mostly in the car with my family, so I'm not going to go and say die to them. But it is very annoying people who backseat driving, backseat anything. Honestly, I do appreciate some like tips and tricks sometimes, but honestly, if you're trying to control what I'm doing while I'm doing it, it's just never going to make anything turn out better than it was before. Fitting in public. Are you a child? Like, I'll reuse that line from Karyu's video because are you a child? Basically, that's all I have to say about this. I know some people do it. I think it's very weird. No, it's definitely around the same. Like, I'm not doing these in order or anything, but it's definitely around the same as nose picking, where it's just like it's gross. I've definitely had kids do it to me, and again, it's gross. I don't like it. We're trying to get them to stop. And if you're not a kid, just stop. That's weird. Please. Okay, moving on to leaving the lights on. I do this and I am ashamed. I need to learn better how to turn lights off when I'm leaving a room. I just, right now, we just moved fairly recently and my light is not connected to the one actually on the wall. So I have to go over there, over to my desk and turn it off, and it's such a pain. But I gotta remember to keep doing that every time because I know I'm wasting electricity and I don't want to do that. So it's definitely something I'm ashamed about and something that I have to work on. Moving on to music with no headphones in public. This is something that is not really in my wheelhouse. I don't do this. So I don't listen to a whole lot of music in general. And people who do listen to it in public, it's kind of annoying. Yeah, it's definitely something to socially discourage. If it's good music, I'm not going to be like super mad about it. So it definitely depends obviously on the kind of music, but music with no headphones in public, it's just it's weird. Get headphones. It's not that difficult. And if you don't have headphones, you just don't listen to music. I know people feel like they have to be constantly listening to music, but sometimes you just gotta chill. Come up with a story in your head or something. Use your imagination. Pen clicking. I like it. I like clicking pens. Whenever I get pens, I'm clicking them. That's basically all that's happening. It's definitely something where I don't think I know what I know what Karyu was talking about when she was talking about the ASMR pen clicking. That's not something that I'm super into ASMR wise. Have actually I've gotten kind of obsessed with ASMR stuff recently, but it's mostly been in like the kind of sometimes like weird like strange sounds of like goopy like I don't know, I don't even know. Weird strange sounds and like massage videos too. I swear it like of people scratching your head. I swear, like if you put two headphones in and you just close your eyes, you can totally feel that. So, but pen clicking with ASMR, I've never really encountered that, but I do like to click the pen whenever I get it. It's just a nice thing to occupy your hands and it sounds nice, I think. So I'm not really ashamed of doing it either. I guess like if again, it runs into the situation, if somebody's annoyed by it, they can tell me and I'll stop. But if they're not, I'm not gonna. Unbehaved kids in public. This is kind of annoying. I don't like this. Definitely not die, but it's definitely I think I'm gonna go with I don't like this. Um, it's not fun for anybody to have unbehaved kids in public. You gotta learn how to deal with them. I know kids can be difficult, trust me. I know. But if they're really that bad, you don't bring them out into places where they can misbehave so badly that it affects other people and starts into a whole nother thing. I just think you definitely have to be careful about this. Moving on to picky eaters. I don't know if I can say I do this and I'm ashamed. I am actually a vegetarian, so I know that kind of almost counts as like a picky eater type of thing because there's definitely times where I have to be like, what's in this food so I could like if I can eat it. And I know like a lot of my family is pretty good about having at least something that I can eat there. So but that also kind of does. I'm not ashamed of it. I actually kind of like this. That's me. But no, I am sorry. I am sorry. Yeah. I do this and I'm ashamed. Other than that, I can eat a whole lot of other things other than meat, but I just don't eat meat. So it definitely puts me into a little bit at least of a category of picky eater. Moving on to hiccups. Are we what, what how is this your pet peeve? I don't know. I know everybody has their own pet peeves. I don't care. I don't get hiccups very often. And if other people have hiccups, I'm like, oh, that sucks. Sorry about that. But that's all I can really say on that. Typing quirks. I kind of like this. I don't have weird typing quirks. I don't think so, but I think it's fun when somebody has weird typing quirks. Again, as long as I can understand what you're saying, I think it's fine. Communicate in however you like. That's what language is, guys. That's what language is. But this one, stupid internet comments. I am weak to these. Very annoying. I'm not going to say die because actually, no, I am going to say it. I'm going to say die because it's moving back. Same thing. I'm not going to reiterate it again. But how are your stupid internet comments affecting other people? Just think about that before you leave a comment. How is this going to affect the person on the other end of the screen? Because there is probably a person on the other end of the screen. I actually just realized dead internet theory might make you think it's not, but it's best to go in thinking there's someone on the other end of the screen and thinking how your stupid comment is going to affect them. And if you want it to negatively affect them, why? That's kind of weird. What did they do to deserve that? Did they make a stupid internet comment? And do you think a stupid internet comment deserves another stupid internet comment? And the cycle of hatred. That's all I'm going to say. Flaking on plans last minute. This is definitely I actually kind of like this. I don't know if I should put this in here, but flaking on plans last minute. I'm definitely a person. I'm very introverted. I like to stay at home. And if you flake on plans last minute, I'm going to be kind of annoyed. I am going to be kind of annoyed because I had to go through my schedule and it knocked something off of my schedule, but I'm also going to actually kind of like it. It's a weird kind of dichotomy here because I'm mad that my schedule is being interrupted, but if it's a flaking on plans last minute, that means it's interrupted in a good way. I know that sounds really weird to people who really like to go out and do things, but I think things are fun when I'm there in the moment, but when I have to leave the house to actually go there to do something, I'm just like, I would rather stay home. No, thank you. It's definitely helped me save money throughout the years, but not the greatest with creating a large group of friends. I will say that. Body odor slash bad hygiene. I don't like this. It's kind of annoying. It's not going to be, I don't know if I think it's definitely in the kind of annoying part. It's obviously it's your responsibility to keep yourself relatively clean. Like if something happens that's outside of your control, obviously there are exceptions, but most of the time, just take a shower. That's all you need to really do. Take a shower, put on some deodorant, and you're fine. Tight long sleeves. I don't like them. Tight long sleeves suck. I don't like any kind of long sleeve like shirt. I am fine with it being like a hoodie type of situation or like a sweater, but any type of just shirt, I feel like it's too tight when I'm using them as like long sleeves. And I always want to roll up the sleeves, and if they're too tight, you can't roll up the sleeves, and that's really annoying. So I'm putting that in I don't like this. I'm not going to kill any t-shirts, so it's not going to go into die, but definitely in the I don't like this. Belt loop catching on the door handle. I think that's just more dangerous for the door than it is for me because I will go off onto the door if that happens. Again, this is something that I remember Kairyu talking about, but whenever that happens to me, it's always in the worst possible situation when things are always just going horribly wrong. And just that having that happen, it's like the final straw. I don't destroy the door, but I'm like ripping that off and probably destroying the belt loop in the first place. Luckily, I don't often wear pants with belt loops because I'm a jean hater. I was definitely more of a jean hater when I was a kid, so I just never have any jeans now. So I can wear jeans, and I have a couple pair for when I go into work, but I don't need to wear them at work anymore. So I'm perfectly fine with not having any pants with belt loops on them. So this cannot happen to me. Where does that put that though? I don't like that because I feel like that the thing where it's like this happens in the worst possible situations, I think that kind of bumps it up from kind of annoying to I don't like this. And we're going into clout chasers. Clout chasers. I don't like this. I don't like this. I can say they're kind of annoying when they're just people who like are trying to like, oh, collab with someone so they can get more subscribers or whatever. Like I don't care about that, but I feel like the whole culture of online content creation recently has just been clout chasers after clout chasers after clout chasers, and it's just I don't like this. Please, 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 please stop. Especially those crazy Twitch streamers. I don't know. I've just I've been watching some voice critical videos where it's like, just stop streaming while driving. Please stop streaming while driving. I know that's not all clout chasers, so I can't really put it up into die because if it was those, that would be streaming while driving would go into the die tier. But for clout chasers overall, just I don't like this. Please stop. Dishes in the sink. I do this and I'm not sorry. I don't know how it is for everybody else, but we have a system in our house where we kind of do dishes intermittently on certain days of the week, and we kind of leave things in there to either soak or just kind of sit there and then soak them later. So people do big loads of dishes at once instead of washing them right away or washing them right away and then putting them into a dishwasher. I, I'm definitely someone who has to at least wash them. I can't just throw them into the dishwasher, but dishes in the sink, I'm fine with that. I do that and I'm not sorry. Puns. I actually kind of like puns. I don't make a whole lot of them, so I can't put them into there, but I like puns. They're funny. To me, they're funny. And obviously, I like Sans. Sans the skeleton. And he was funny with puns. Sans the skeleton likes puns, so I like puns, and that's about it. Not keeping secrets. Not keeping secrets. This is I don't I don't really care. Honestly, if you can't keep a secret, I'm not going to tell you a secret, but honestly, I'm probably not going to tell very many people secrets at all because the first thing about keeping a secret is don't tell anybody. No, just don't tell anybody secrets and you won't have any problems with this. That's what I think. I always say I'm not going to talk to anyone, so I'm not going to tell anyone your secrets when I get told secrets myself, but just don't tell anybody your secrets and they can't get out. That's all I'm saying. Ass kissing, it's annoying, but honestly, sometimes you got to do it. Sometimes you got to do it. Sometimes you got to make that teacher like you so your grade can be good at the end of semester when you accidentally don't turn in any of the assignments and need to turn them all in last minute. Sometimes the teacher's got to like you when you're so sometimes you got to ask kiss some ass. It just has to happen. But it can definitely be very annoying when people are doing it in dumb situations. So putting it into kind of annoying just kind of feels right. Micromanaging, kind of annoying. I don't care too much about that. Yeah, it's not fun to be micromanaged. It's not fun to micromanage someone, I don't think. I don't think it's good for anybody for micromanaging to be a thing, unless it's like absolutely necessary, like you're in a new job learning something new initially, then it's okay to be micromanaged. But other than that, macro manage, please. Go back to macro managing. Next, okay. Well, okay, who put this in here? Just being stupid. Where am I gonna put this? I don't know. Is it somebody's fault that they're just stupid? I'm gonna put this in. I'm gonna put this in desensitized. I work with kids. Sometimes it just happens. Sometimes it just happens. I don't know. You can definitely work to not be fucking stupid, but it's not all the time. So yeah. Always complaining. How is always complaining affecting my life? It's not fun, I'll tell you that. If you're just always if you're always finding something to complain about, especially if you're always finding something to complain about other people, that's kind of the point where I'm like, all right, just if you don't like them so much, honestly, just don't be around them anymore. And if you can't, tell them that what they're doing that's being so annoying. And if you can't, then just suck it up because I don't feel like listening to you complaining all the time. Please and thank you. Snoring. I don't particularly care about this. I've definitely had some relatives that do this, and at family vacations, I'm definitely fine sleeping in the same room as them. I can sleep when things are snoring. I have some trouble sleeping when there's like flashing light and like noises that are not super consistent because most people's snoring is at least fairly consistent and it's not going to be like loud and blaring randomly, it can be, but it's not often. So I can normally just fall asleep to it. So I don't particularly care. Spoiling media, I actually I don't know. I'm gonna put this in I actually kind of like this. I don't like doing it because I don't like spoiling media for people, but I'm definitely someone who doesn't care if I get a media spoiled for me, because I get it spoiled for me all the time. I read fan fiction and I read fan fiction on media that I have no idea what anything is about. And I need to get spoiled there to get the correct context for everything. So it's definitely something where I'm like, if a piece of work can't stand without being spoiled, if it can't stand on its own without some like super big plot twist, then I don't think the plot twist is good. And particularly, like if I get something spoiled for me, where I can go through it for the first time, I can pick up different things that are potentially pointing towards the spoiler that I got. And I think that's cool. If you can't do that with your story, then it's just a bad story. So that's all I'm thinking about in the realm of spoiling media. Bare feet. I don't know if I'm allowed. No, I don't know if I'm allowed to rank this one. I just don't care. I don't particularly like seeing them. I don't particularly dislike seeing them. People have bare feet. That's what they do when they don't wear socks. I think you should wear. I like wearing socks. I pretty much all the time have socks on, but I don't care if other people do or do not. Untrained pet. Definitely something I don't like, because if your untrained pets are going to be someone else's problem, then that's where it gets to up here kind of situations. But I'm not going to put it up there, mostly because I just don't encounter them enough to be truly like actually peeved about it. These are called pet peeves after all, because they're my pet peeves. Bad spelling grammar, again, don't care. It goes in the same category of using words incorrectly. As long as I can understand what you're saying, I don't care. Though, actually, I actually might have to bump this up, because bad spelling or grammar in something that I'm trying to read, like in a story that I'm trying to read, that can actually really piss me off and can like ruin the whole story for me. So I'm actually going to put bad spelling or grammar up there. More so than bad spelling grammar, a bad layout can totally kill a fanfic for me, especially those older ones where it's like all the lines are like super condensed and it's super difficult to read, or all the lines are super far apart and spread out. Formatting, guys, formatting. Though I know a lot of that isn't the fault of the actual people writing it, it's mostly the fault of like old technology interacting with new technology. Pushing people's boundaries. That's not fun, guys. Don't do that. I don't particularly like this, but it's kind of annoying. Yeah, I don't like this. People have boundaries. Respect people's boundaries. It's about respect. I'm not gonna put it at die, but like it's again, think about how your actions impact other people. I think that's just kind of the moral of today's story. Asking for advice and not taking it. I don't particularly care with this, honestly. Asking for advice and not taking it. It can be a little annoying, but in the end, it's your fault, man. Like if you ask for advice and don't take it, and then you fail, that's just your fault, man. I don't care. Using expired internet slang. I do this and I am not sorry. I like using expired internet slang. I think it can be fun. It's like a nice old reference. A nice old reference. I don't do it very often, but I do like to use them sometimes, and I don't actually I'm not the greatest at remembering them, but if it works in a situation, I'll do it. Picky beggars. It's kind of annoying. I don't have a whole lot to say on picky beggars. It's just kind of annoying. Why are you picky if you're begging? That's all I have to say. Teasing other people's interests. I don't like this. That's a very weird thing to do. Some people are interested in some things. Some people are interested in other things. I don't care what you're interested in as long as you're having fun. Go with the flow. Go do you, man. Go do you, anybody. Though, if your interests are I hate my wife humor, I probably do have something to say and I will tease you, because this is probably the worst humor. Not ever, but it's definitely up there. It's like, come on, man. If you don't like your wife, don't be married to her. This isn't a difficult thing. Oh, okay. I am not one to talk about this because I could not imagine ever getting into a relationship like that. But I am fairly arrow ace, so I can never imagine getting into a relationship like that. But it just seems from the outside, it seems very weird and just very dumb. So kind of annoying. I can't put it too high because again, I just said I'm not teasing other people's interests, but if that's your interest, man, just get your life together, honestly. Overly lewd minded. I think this kind of interacts with the one I previously said because I don't do a whole lot of lewd minded things. My brain can be internet poisoned, but I just don't care. Honestly, like I can find it funny sometimes, especially like I've watched clips where oh haha, overly lewd humor. Though when it does happen in like as a character, like when it starts to be worse is when it starts to be like those overly pervy characters in anime. I can't stand that. And I cannot stand so oh boy, I'm convincing myself to move this up the hierarchy because when it is overly lewd-minded characters, I cannot stand them in my shows. It's like such a pain, honestly. My favorite tag ever is what was it? It's the one in the MHA fandom where it's like, oh, we had to add a kid to the class 1A. We kicked out Mineta. Obviously, you kicked out Mineta, right? Mineta is such an annoying person and character to just deal with at all times, so that's just what I think. Line cutting. Ooh, I don't know if I can put this into die, but it pisses me off. I haven't had to deal with it honestly in a while because I haven't been to like Six Flags or anything or like theme parks in a fairly long time. But line cutting, not fun. Don't do it. It's annoying to have it done to you, so don't do it to other people. That's all I'm saying. Always asking for money. Oof, oof, oof. No, I don't think I'm gonna put it in die. It's not fun to always be asked for money, but it's not something I know it's not something those other people can control. Well, it is something they can control, but it just sucks. The situation where all in sucks and being asked for money is just like it's annoying, but I get it, man. Like sometimes you need money. I'm not blaming people for needing it, but just kind of keep in mind that the other people are in similar situations to you as well. All right, not apologizing. What do I think of not apologizing? It's kind of annoying that people don't apologize when they definitely should. It's definitely not like I wouldn't call it a pet peeve of mine, but it is just kind of annoying. Or being late. So this is being late. Other over here is where is it? I'm looking other people being late. So this is being late. This is other people being late. Me being late specifically makes me want to die. I hate being late. It's the worst. I always want to get someplace like at least 10, 15 minutes before I need to be there. And if I'm late, it sucks. I hate being late. I'm not going to be early specifically. So like if I'm getting to my job, I'm not going to be in the job doing the job early, but I'm going to be there exactly on time. I'm going to get there early, sit in my car for a few minutes, and then be there exactly on time. Okay, calling customer service is the worst. I don't like calling customer service because, again, it's in the same realm of being rude to service workers because it's always the worst possible experience whenever you're calling customer service. And I know it's not the customer service people's fault that this is such like a labyrinthine system that you need to go through to get customer service correctly, but honestly, it's just an unfortunate situation all around, so I don't like it. Products that don't work. Okay. Honestly, that's going into the die situation. I am fairly bad with this because when I want something, I don't really often like need to buy something, but when I do need to buy something, I am bad at waiting and kind of doing the research on what I actually need to buy. So I buy something, it doesn't work, and it just annoys me so bad. And then you have to call the customer service and try to get it fixed, and that's a whole nother situation that I do not want to get into. So honestly, that's probably why I'm putting it up in die. All right, moving down to no backbone. Honestly, I don't care. I'll put this in I do this and I'm ashamed. I definitely don't have as much of a backbone as I probably should have because again, I don't like being rude to people and I don't like calling customer service. But when I get products that don't work, I don't have the backbone to buckle down and try to get a refund or try to get something to fix it or do that. So honestly, it's something I can definitely work on. I need to work on getting more of a backbone. Using animals as decorations, that's rude and horrible, and please stop doing that. Why would you ever do that? Animals are great. Animals are great. I love my two little doggies, and if somebody used them as decorations, I would be very mad. Animals are friend, not decoration, is all I'm gonna say to that. Overly clumsy. I don't care about this. I'm not overly clumsy. I don't know a whole lot of people that are overly clumsy, but like it's not something that I think they're deliberately trying to be overly clumsy. I don't think anybody goes out and is like, I really want to like trip over things and knock into people. That would be super fun. So honestly, don't care about it. If it's not something they can control, I'm not going to get too pissed off about it. And the same situation goes for breaking someone else's property. It's the same thing where is it your fault that you broke someone's property? Did you do it deliberately and then don't care and don't apologize afterward? Or is it just, I accidentally broke someone's property. I'm sorry about that. So it's honestly just kind of hovering in between. So I'm going to put it into the same tier as not apologizing. Copycats, copycats, copycats. What do I think of copycats? Honestly, I don't care about copycats. I think it's kind of lame to be a copycat, but so many people are copycatting that it's. But the line between copycat and just taking inspiration is kind of thin. Obviously, plagiarism sucks and don't do it, but copycats are kind of the name of the game right now. Right now, I'm copycatting other VTubers and I've copycatted them before. Licking fingers after eating. I do this and I am not sorry. I'm not going to do it at a restaurant because at a restaurant, I'm going to be using utensils. But if I'm eating like chips or something, I want that flavor. That's good flavor. Why would you waste the flavor? Most of the time, I will wash my hands right afterwards, but if it's good flavor, I'm not going to waste it. Can't admit when they're wrong. It's annoying. Definitely. It's not going to be like my pet peeve or something like where I'm actually like super pissed off about it. That's a you problem, man. Like you have to learn how to admit when you're wrong to grow as a person. And if you can't do that, then that's kind of your problem, not my problem anymore. Negging, 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 negging. Um, Desensitized. I work with kids. I haven't been anything in that category for a little while, but I think that's definitely part of it. I've definitely just kind of gotten desensitized to it. So if other people were to do it to me, kind of just like, why are you doing that? That's kind of weird, man, but whatever. Other people being late. I don't particularly care about other people being late. If it like super inconveniences me, that really sucks, but I don't particularly care about other people being late too much. At Grok. Oh boy. What am I going to do about this problem? Because I am principally against the generative AI and everything basically that Grok represents, especially with how it was created. However, I do love Grok's intermittent AI rebellions against its programming. I think it's just really funny to see secondhand. Let's just say I'm never going to be the one adding Grok, but I will watch other people add Grok and kind of snicker along if it if the AI is starting to say something funny, then that's cool. Mostly, I like watching Grok get owned. I definitely remember. I like remember watching the Neurosama versus Grok debate, which was funny about destroying the sun, and just seeing it like totally not get the joke and to just like totally get owned was fun. So I'm definitely more against adding grok than I am for adding grok, but I can't put it in die because some of them are just funny. Some of them are just funny. Mansplaining. I don't think I do this. I hope I don't do this, but maybe I do this sometimes accidentally. Um, but I don't think I can really be mansplained to. Don't think that really happens, and when I am, I don't really particularly care about it too much. So I'm gonna put it in don't particularly care. I'm sure this is pet peeves, remember, my personal one. So I don't care about it particularly. And finally, pencil squeaking. I mean, this one is I actually kind of like this. Honestly, it's just like it's kind of satisfying. It's not the same like ASMR type of situation, but I definitely do remember those mechanical pencils. They're pretty satisfying when you're getting going and getting that pencil squeaking and going away writing. It can be pretty satisfying. And that's all I really have to say about that. And wow, that is everything. I will throw the completed list up here next to me on the screen. But how do you guys think I did? I think I did okay. I definitely didn't have probably as entertaining of opinions as Karyu's opinions, but hopefully it was fun to listen to this. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I do hope you guys have a great rest of your day as I move on to having some more fun not doing this because that was a whole lot of talking that I'm not exactly used to. I thought it was fun, but I definitely don't know if I'm going to do as long of tier lists again. Though maybe I will depending on how this goes because that was a lot of talking. But again, thank you guys, and thanks to Kairyu Crocodile for giving me this tier list to do. I hope you all enjoyed and have a great rest of your day. Adios.